Well, it was many years actually in the making. I was so over the moon and overjoyed that last night I got to meet Mr. Kenneth Bradley, who I have been watching on TV forever back in England. I think my mum is his #1 fan. I'm a close second. Ken, you are the formidable expert in the world of Ammolite.
Well, you know, who knew that was going to happen? But yes, after 30 years of dedicating all of my time, attention, and passion, I'm honored to be associated with something so rare, so beautiful, and so extraordinary.
Well, that story is something we're going to tell throughout the next 60 minutes. And we have a lot of things that have been saved for us. We have reorders, we have some launches. That pendant that we just showed is,
oh my.
And you know the pricing. You got my message, right?
I did.
Okay.
Yep.
It's phenomenal. I want to start here, though, because Ken and I had the pleasure. There it is.
Oh.
That's why the world has fallen in love with Ammolite. This has been seen a couple times. I have a few dozen remaining, a few dozen only, sizes 5 through 12. Ken, there are people that have followed you for many years. There are also people that have never seen this before.
Absolutely. Well, you know, the Discovery Channel called it the sleeping beauty of the gem world.
That's a big accolade.
It is, because it is that boutique stone that, you know, if you haven't had the opportunity to sort of stumble across it, you may never have seen it, which is one of the reasons why we wanted to team up with HSN and educate, you know, Americans on this incredible, you know, delicate and delightful stone. The colors that you're seeing in these stones are completely natural.
Completely natural.
71 million years in the making. From start to finish, we predict that this deposit will be exhausted. We're already past the halfway point.
And when you say exhausted, in other words, you're saying won't be available.
Won't be available in a mining capacity. It'll only be available on a secondary market. And we know that because, you know, there's been so many studies done on this because it is such an, you know, an oddity. And so we know where the deposit starts and finishes. So it's not marketing, it's not salesmanship, but we are so blessed to be able to have this stone available now to, you know, the masses in a way through HSN.
Well, Ken, I don't want to speak out of turn, but when you presented this with me for the first time, we did cause a stir, and I'm going to reiterate what we said.
Okay.
This is $269 in the real world, Jay, because this is not real here.
Right.
How much would a ring like that really retail for?
Over $1,000.
Okay.
And you know, that's again not marketing, not salesmanship. Now you've got to understand that, you know, from the mine to market, generally there's anywhere from a dozen to, you know, 17 or 18 hands that touch a piece of jewelry.
Okay.
And so it's from me to you to all of your viewers.
Big difference.
And we did really want to make a stir, and we did want to make people feel extra special and important because this is the flawless of Ammolite. There are no upgrades available. 50% of the Ammolite stones are green, and they're not this intense, beautiful green. So half of the deposit doesn't look anything like this. These are handfuls, and the biggest challenge here at HSN for me is we have to continually say we'd love to be there, but we can't.
And so also, and actually just before I say this, tell us what we're seeing here.
Right, so listen, this is how Ammolite comes out of the ground, and every single stone is hand cut, hand polished, hand shaped, and then finally hand set. You know, it is a meticulous attention to detail to be able to work with this stone. These are not stone cutters, these are artisans and craftsmen. And you know, we really wanted to do something extra special. We only come a handful of times a year. But this bypass ring is absolutely extraordinary. If you've never seen Ammolite before, I would just say, you know, there's no chance or risk here, just take a chance and get it at home and actually look at it on your finger. Because Ammolite is 3 dimensions. It's like capturing the northern lights.
It is.
You know, or a rainbow. There's no gemstone in the world that produces these colors. None at all. Even, I made the mistake once in Australia saying that, you know, the finest of opals only wish they could be Ammolite. And then I thought, oh gosh, I'm in Australia, that's probably not the right thing to say. But extraordinary. One stone, solid sterling silver, rhodium plated or gold plated, the real price for this ring would be north of $1,000.
Well, we are wrapping this up. It will not be seen again at $269. We have sizes 5 through 12, but I do want to say something that Ken mentioned yesterday, which is so important. This is the easiest ring to wear because there's a little bit of give. So even if your exact size is not available, you actually have a little bit of room to play with. And if you have maybe a larger knuckle, this is going to be easier to go over. So I appreciate that. I'm going to do my best to show off the magic and majesty of Ammolite here on television. Nothing will compare to you seeing it with the naked eye. I want you to pay close attention, not only to a ring that maybe in the real world could be upwards of $1,000. This ring at $269 has some of the most attractive features, including that blue color.
Right, so we call it the rare elusive blue. And the blue is so important because it is absolutely the rarest color. So in that top tier, maybe 10% of the production is going to have that elusive, most sought after blue.
It's hardly anything.
It's hardly anything, it's handfuls. And if you look into that blue, occasionally, you will even see violets.
Right.
So this is the best of the very best. So we talked about, you know, some of the celebrities and people that we know and read about in magazines that wear Ammolite, because even for them who can afford anything, to find something that's going to set yourself apart, right, that will be exclusively yours. And even with all of these pieces that we're offering today, the ring that you own today, it will be like no other ring in the world. These are individual fingerprints. But I'm telling you that when Helen Mirren walked the red carpet wearing the Grand Solara, a $25,000 piece of Ammolite,
Goodness gracious,
in 18 karat gold, it had exactly the same quality of stone in it as it we're offering here. Just briefly for those that don't know me, 30 years of my life I've been doing this. This has obviously become quite a passion, but also my legacy.
Indeed.
And when I decided to create my own personal brand, I was really trying to just remind myself to hold myself accountable and not to compromise. And, you know, even for the folks here at HSN, they understand that I'm not going to compromise.
Right.
And so for all of you out there, you are getting the best of the finest Ammolite in the world.
There's so much I want to say, and our time together last night was so fleeting. And again, we're already 10 minutes in. I could give you the facts. I could tell you that it was given gemstone classification in 1981. Ken shocked me last night with something that he said, actually. Ken, elaborate on that, please.
Well, Ammolite is the last gemstone officially to be given gemstone status, and it was in 1981.
No stone since then.
No stone since then. And it is still one of the most studied, recognized gemstone in the world. It's probably in every natural history museum. You know, the American Museum of Natural History, where they filmed the night of the museum, one of the most, you know, important museums in the world, did a $40 to $50 million renovation to the Grand Gallery, original front entrance back in the 1800s. They chose two things to be on exhibition, permanent exhibition. One was a meteorite, and the other was Canadian Ammolite.
Incredible. It's important to me that the story is told. I remember very much so being up very late at night, watching Ken on television, on Home Shopping in England, listening to the story of Ammolite, being captivated by it, because as Ken pointed out, I think there is a longing for all of us to be able to express ourselves with something that is unique, that is not something you see yourself coming and going. And that Ammolite story, which is completely unique, a single source stone, there's nothing like it in the world, did captivate and did capture the attention of all of us here in the States, in Canada, Australia, Germany, Italy, the United Kingdom, all over the world. You're buying the best. So I have a show full of wonderful pieces. I want you to know there is nothing that can compare in ring form to this at $269. I've lost size 5. Size 5 is gone. Size 6 through 12 available, but limited numbers. By the way, the earrings are available $399. This gorgeous bracelet is available for $479, which I think you will love. In terms of a dollar for dollar value, clearly it is irresistible. Ken, this is generational jewelry. This isn't fashion jewelry.
No, it really is. And just think about it, that, you know, my grandchildren's children for sure will only be able to buy this on a secondary market. And, you know, the thing that I feel so confident and so comfortable in sort of nudging people along here and maybe pushing them into just trying this piece live is that you have such a wonderful, you know, money back return policy.
Yes.
I want anybody and everybody that is remotely interested in thinking, is this really what it looks like? The thing that I'm gonna love is that you're gonna be able to get it at home, try it on your finger, and understand that it's going to look significantly better than it already does on your television screen.
I'm excited to present it. We're on FlexPay. We've got our opportunity with the return policy, just like Ken said. I'm going to